Here we go, and welcome to this week's episode of Polar Plunge 2. My name is Lauzie, and today's episode I'm going to dedicate today to a volunteer, a coach, and a father of Special Olympics, Tom. He's been with Special Olympics over 20 years. He was my baseball coach. He taught me to be the player I am today, and how honored to be with Special Olympics. And to the family, we send our thoughts and prayers to you during this time. Thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. We are glad to be back with you for this another week of Polar Plunge week. Again, my name is Lauzie, and always with me is my good friend D. How are you today?
I'm good, Lauzie. It's like a spring day out there. It's not exactly polar plunge weather, but I'll tell you, it's a one-off because the rest of the week has been pretty chilly. So
hope you had some rocks in your pockets so you didn't get blown away.
You're right. We laughed. We were at a particular polar plunge today that we're about to see, and 16 degrees. I said, but with the wind chill, it's got to be at least 15. So, all right. Well, let's get going because we had a busy week. There were several polar plunges posted. And again, we can't go through all of them here. That would be just too much. But remember to keep your eyes open on the Torch Run Ontario and Polar Plunge sites on social media, because tomorrow will be another installment of the Plunge of the Week, in which we have a Special Olympics athlete from Kingston who will be choosing the Plunge of the Week tomorrow. And I'll tell you, she's got a lot to choose from because there were a lot of submissions this past week. So that's excellent news. The total just keeps climbing with the province. We're getting way up there. We're closing in on that $100,000 mark. We've got lots of plungers, and we still have 2 full weeks left of plunges. So I know a lot of people have been taking some time to plan theirs, you included. And as we get into the next week or two, we'll start to see a lot more plunges coming out. So let's get at it for this week because we have some good ones to look at. Just for our listeners, go ahead.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Just so our listeners know, we'll let you know when we go through these plunges, but today, most of the plunges we'll go through are available on our Guardians and Gladiators YouTube channel. So that lets you kind of pull them up and have a look at what we're describing. If you want to pull them up before you listen to the podcast, and you'll be able to go through it and watch them as we go through it as well, and enjoy our play-by-play on each polar plunge. There'll be a couple that won't be available on there, but we'll let you know which ones those are as we go through. So without any hesitation, let's get to our first one. And our first one is one of those ones actually that is not available on our YouTube channel, but it has been posted on Twitter. And I know will be reposted by the Torch Run Ontario sites. So let's pull that one up right now. All right, here we go with our first one. This is Superintendent Dave Ridzik from the Toronto Police Service. And the superintendent was involved last year and raised a lot of money for Special Olympics. And he is back at it again this year. It's nice to see some of the senior officers from some big services like Toronto Police getting involved for this. It really shows that they are dedicated and they do believe in this cause. So let's go. We have this one takes place. It's actually at a fire service training facility. And it looks like they got a big pond of water there that they have chiseled away the ice. Obviously, this was done earlier in the week and not on the 16-degree day like today. They've chiseled away a big opening there for the superintendent. He's there. He's got his full white shirt uniform on with a polar plunge toque. They got it.
That's a nice suit to jump in the water with.
Yes, absolutely. They got a safety guy in the water. He's all ready to go just in case. Looks like it's fairly deep. He looks like he's up to about his shoulders in there, so it's a nice big chunk. But it looks cold, doesn't it, Lauzie?
Oh, it does look cold out there. Even
Wow.
the safety guy's probably thinking, "Come on,
Yeah.
jump! You don't know how
Enough
cold I am."
talking. Well, he's talking about what he's doing. He's now getting sprayed by one of the firefighters from a hose because that's what you
Oh
want before you
boy!
jump in. All right, take us through it, Lauzie.
Here we go. He's getting ready. Looks like, oh, he's thinking. He's thinking. There he is. Then he did it. What a splash!
Nice. And a few different angles of it there.
Yeah,
Look
he
at
lost
that.
his too.
Yeah, he did. Look at that. He's even saying a few words there, talking about the polar plunge in Special Olympics. Big hug to his safety person. Look at that.
Wow,
Awesome job, Superintendent Rizek. That is amazing.
that was,
That's a true polar plunge. He's right in the icy water there.
especially when he was getting sprayed by the water, even before he jumped in. That would make it even more colder.
Imagine that. Like, that's what you need. You're about to jump into ice cold water where they've chiseled away the ice for you to get in there, and somebody sprays you with a hose before you even go in. Unbelievable.
Oh boy.
Well, that was great. That's a great job by the superintendent there. Dave Ridzik from Toronto Police Service. Excellent job. All right, we're
Yeah,
going to move
that
on.
was-
Yeah, we're going to move on to another one now. And again, this one also is not available. It is on Instagram and the torch run site in Chatham, Kent, which is LETR _ Chatham, Law Enforcement Torch Run of Chatham, Kent. Have it posted on their site if you want to see it. And what this is this is going to be a group of students who have been involved in and partners in the polar plunge in the Chatham area for a number of years, and extremely generous. They raise a lot of money.
Oh,
This
lots. It's
fifth year, yeah, as presenting partners here. Extremely generous. I believe they've donated $7,000, and I believe that's just for this year
wow.
for their plunge. So excellent
Wow,
job,
that's pretty good.
isn't it? Yeah, that's really good. All right, and this again is students, so that's a great thing. So let's get this going here. And so it looks like they are outside, and now again, this is gonna be the Chatham area. A body of water, looks like it could be a river or a lake of some kind, full of ice. Like, how cold does that look?
Oh, that's crazy.
Isn't it? Like, that's all. They've chiseled away all the ice again. They have a big opening there. There's chunks of ice floating down.
But yeah, like if they jump and they land on one of those ices, they're gone.
It's
They
going to
will be
float away
gone.
with them. My goodness. I mean, we encourage people to stay safe, but it looks like they're good. They have a lot of people around, but it just looks
Yeah.
freezing cold out here. So we got our first, look, they're doing it kind of one at a time. Our first young girl there, she's got like a crop top and stuff on. That does not look warm before you even jump in.
Oh no, it was.
Here she goes.
Here you go,
Down and up.
underwater.
Oh, now we got one dressed like a princess.
Oh,
Oh, right underneath that
no.
one. Oh, he's got just shorts on. No shirt, no not. And he goes.
No, this
Oh,
guy,
there we
look.
go. We got a couple of them going.
Oh, little.
Oh, they
foot
dipped their
dips.
toe in and didn't bother.
Little dips.
This guy didn't even get his head in. He had enough up to his neck.
A quick dip. That's it.
Awesome. And there's a group shot of all of them on there too. Wow, that looked cold. That is excellent. Great job by them. Again, that looked like it was a cold day out there when they did it. That was earlier this week. So great work by the students out in Chatham, Kent. Excellent job. All right. Well, we're now going to head over to our YouTube channel for Guardians and Gladiators, where we have some more plunges added to the ones we had from last week. And Lauzie, what do you say we start with a previous guest on this show? And should we call him the grandfather, the godfather of Special Olympics in Ontario? I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't like that, eh?
Oh, you're talking about the guy that made the front cover of the rules for Special Olympics.
That guy. Yeah. Yes. So Bill Mills was a guest previously on our podcast here, and Bill again has been involved with Special Olympics longer than Special Olympics has existed in Ontario. So this is amazing, and Bill takes part every year, kind of like yourself, in the plunge, whether it's an in-person plunge or doing it on his own. And Bill is consistently the top fundraiser in the London area. And that is just incredible. Year after year after year, Bill, he sets his goal high, and he not only meets it, but he exceeds it. And once again, this year, Bill has already exceeded his goal prior to doing his plunge today. So let's pull it up without further ado, and let's see what we got here. So here we go, Bill Mills's plunge. And just to set the scene for this, what Bill has done is Bill has what he calls the Red Rocket. It's a portable scooter that I believe was his dad. So this is a nice tribute to Bill's dad using the Red Rocket. He is seated in it on his street, and he has a bunch of friends and family and neighbors lined down the street on both sides. We got to have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's got to be 12, 14, 16 people lined up on the street there on either side with buckets of water.
And one kid's in shorts.
Look at yeah, that would obviously be the 16-degree day. I don't think Bill, to be fair, Bill had this planned for a long time on this date, so it's not like he knew the weather forecast in advance. It just happened to work out this way. So
unless he had inside scoop with the weather, man.
If he does, we should all talk to Bill. All right. Okay, so we're looking at from behind Bill, and he's about to start up the scooter. All of his friends and family lined up on the roads. Here he goes. Tell us, Lauzie, give us it.
And it's frozen. Oh, here he goes. There's the first group of neighbors and friends just dumping it on him. Right down the line he goes. And I want to tell you something. As Bill is a veteran with the polar plunge, he's wearing a face mask.
He
A
did.
full shield.
I think he might have been a little worried about what was in some of those buckets before the water went in. He got someone used to make some gravel, and there's a couple of rocks in there. I think that's a smart move on his part to put the shield on.
Yeah.
Well, that was excellent. Bill, right down there, probably 14, 16 buckets of water tossed at him as he drove down the gauntlet there. That was excellent.
That was.
Very good. All right. So what we're going to do now is we are going to head down the road to Waterloo. Waterloo Police Service did their plunge earlier this week, and they were in the back of the police station, and they had a little inflatable pool set up, filled it with water, and they had several buckets of water as well. Now, I can tell you, I was there, and it was a cold day. It was really cold that day. So we're going to start off the first one with Chief Brian Larkin, the Chief of Waterloo Police Service. The Chief has always been a big supporter of Special Olympics year after year after year, and definitely jumped up to take the plunge here. So the Chief starts off.
He's gonna miss up that nice hair he has. Look at it.
He's giving a little speech welcoming everybody, talking about his support for Special Olympics, and they have 3 Special Olympic athletes surrounding the pool with buckets of water. So excellent job with the Waterloo athletes coming out to take part in this. Again, it was cold. So Lauzie, I'll let you take us through this as we go.
So here he is. Folks, when you go on the YouTube channel, oh, there it is. Just the first bucket, and then the one behind him coming up. And there's the third one. And there goes his nice, perfect hair. But look, it's still intact. It is still intact.
It is. He's got some good product in there.
And then he's going to go for a little swim in another bucket.
lying down on his back, and the buckets keep coming while he's lying down there. Up he gets, and a quick John out of the pool and running for cover. Well done, Chief Larkin. That was a chilly one. All right. So let's stay in Waterloo, and we're now going to move on to the next group that came in. Again, same pool. The buckets were all refilled with water. And we have a couple of the senior officers from Waterloo who now get in the pool. So we got 2 of them going in this time. All of our athletes have refilled their buckets, and they're all standing by. I'm sure there's a few police officers in there that probably wouldn't have minded grabbing a few buckets and throwing it at the senior officers, eh?
Yeah. Get those. Here it is.
All right, you take us through it.
It's like they're getting ready. Just sitting there talking what they were done. They're going to sit down right away. First bucket went. There's the next one. The one officer's like, "Get me out of here." Here comes the third.
They're getting pretty wet.
And there's the fourth right over the head this
yes.
time. One backed away. One backed away. The other guy got up the whole bucket.
I love it. I love it. That was awesome. Yeah, they got it good there. Those athletes, boy, they don't miss with those buckets, do they?
No way.
They ain't wasting any water. It's going right on them. Oh, that's great. It's so cold there that day too. Very nice. All right, let's go to a next one here. Again, we're staying in Waterloo. And this one here, we have a group of police officers. So we actually are going to have, let's see, there's about 6 of them, 5 or 6 here, who are all going to go in together in this little pool. It's a tight squeeze because it's not that big.
No.
Cold.
In uniform too.
Yep, all in uniform. They look cold before they even get in. Some are in bare feet. Wow. Oh, so what do we got? There's 5 of them. They're all looping arms. So this is kind of what they do when they get tasered too. Everyone loops arms like this. This is awesome. I bet you they feel like they're about to get tasered.
The one guy in the middle. Oh, they're sitting down. Oh boy. There's the first bucket.
There's the buckets. Oh, these athletes aren't wasting their water. They are pouring it right on top of them.
There's the next bucket. Just over the head of the one.
Look how cold they look. Oh, so good.
Man, there's the thumbs up.
There you go. Nice job. The whole group of them. That was excellent. All right. We have one more from Waterloo, and this one is going to be good. This is actually one of the 3 athletes we were talking about. This is Matthew, who is an athlete in the Waterloo area, Special Olympics athlete. And Matthew decided he was going to jump in and do a plunge of his own. Now, let me tell you something. I saw Matthew before he went in here, and he had an arm brace on. So he had something going on with his arm, but he actually took the arm brace off, took his jacket off, and went in there with track pants and a t-shirt on a freezing cold day.
Gosh.
That is excellent. This is so good, Matthew. So let's see. He's going to get in the water there, and I think he's a little hesitant initially.
He's probably thinking, all right, I used my buckets on these officers. Now they're getting the revenge.
And it is too. It's actually the option. Oh, look, and the chief is actually going to grab a bucket too. So that they're all getting their revenge on Matthew here. He's surrounded by police officers with buckets of ice cold water, standing in an ice cold pool.
Oh boy.
Oh, good for you, Matthew.
All
right. I'll let Lauzie take us through. They're just getting all their buckets and everything in order.
Here we go. He's thinking, oh, are we going to do this? There's the first bucket.
A chief with one right on to Matthew.
There. There's the there's the second one, a dump.
Oh, he looks cold.
Oh,
Oh, excellent job. Excellent job, Matthew. So good. Wow. That takes something, eh? That is being brave enough to be freezing for a reason right there.
oh, yes, it is.
Good for you, Matthew. All right. Let's see. We got one more that we're going to do here. And unfortunately, this one is not available. It is on our YouTube page, but unfortunately, it's not available for people to see yet because the person who did this, AJ, is saving it because he wants to get as much money sponsoring him as possible. And then he is going to release the video at the end of the plunge period, which is March 21st. So AJ has done his plunge, but we have the privilege of having the video for that plunge. So we will tell you about it, but you don't get to see it until AJ releases it in another couple of weeks. So we will give you the sneak peek at it with our play-by-play, but you'll have to wait a couple of weeks to see AJ release it. And once he does, we will make it live on our YouTube channel as well. So let's just okay, here we go. We have AJ's ready to go. And let me tell you a little
Looks like
story.
it's a backyard ice rink.
It is. He is in a backyard ice rink, but he's wearing his skates and shorts. And again, this is on a cold day earlier this week. So good for you, AJ. I'm going to tell you a little story about AJ here. AJ's dad is a police officer down in the Windsor area, OPP officer. And AJ's dad has been a long-time law enforcement torch runner and frequently takes part in the polar plunges himself. He had some health issues earlier in the year, which has kind of prevented him from doing the plunge this year. He's doing really well, and we're glad about that. But it's prevented him from taking part in the plunge this year. So AJ has stepped up, took the reins from his dad, and is doing a plunge himself because his dad couldn't. So what does that say about this kid? Isn't that awesome?
That is pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome. Good for you, AJ. So we're going to give a little play-by-play. And like I said, AJ will release this in another couple of weeks once he's raised as much money as he can, and we'll then make it live on our Guardians and Gladiators YouTube channel for you to see. So let's get into this right now.
Looks like he's playing a little ice hockey in the backyard.
Yeah.
Picking up speed. There's a slide.
A slide. Remember, shorts on.
Buckets of water. Shorts on.
Lying
buckets
down
of water
on the ice.
There it is.
Oh, and
all
water
over
all
with
over
the
them. Oh,
floor.
look, they even got water. The boys have, there's some young boys there with some water
guns.
pistols, water guns. Oh, nice. Nice. We call that one AJ's Zamboni plunge because he was flooding the ice.
Yeah.
Great job, AJ. That was awesome. Really good. All right, there we go. We got treated to some good plunges this week, didn't we?
Oh, we did a lot of good creative ideas.
Excellent. So speaking of creative ideas, I understand you're working on yours, and hopefully in the next week or so we'll be able to see yours. I'm not going to ask you about it. I know it's a secret. We won't pry. But what I do understand is that you have surpassed your fundraising goal, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Yes.
That is amazing. Excellent work.
About $110
over it. Oh, so good. So good. Congratulations, Lauzie. That's great news. We're excited to see that. We are looking forward to the next couple of weeks of plunges because I know it's funny. Usually as we get closer to the end, we get more and more plunges coming in, and we really see the imagination taking off, and we see some incredibly creative plunges. So I can't wait to see that. We'll try to keep you up to date in the next couple of weeks with some plunges that we come across, and we'll share them with you. And we're also hoping that at some point we'll be able to get out and do a live play-by-play of one of our plunges. So that's something we're working on, and hopefully we'll be able to do that in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so once again, Polar Plunge goes up until March 21st. You still have lots of time, even if you haven't registered yet. Get on to polarplunge.ca. You can register yourself or a team or join a team, or even just go on and sponsor a participant if that's what you'd like to do. We call that the two chicken to plunge, the people that just go on and sponsor other. At our in-person plunges, we have a bunch of little chickens that you can buy as a donation, and you throw the chicken into the water so you don't have to go in. All right. Okay, so get out there, folks. Register at polarplunge.ca or jump on polarplunge.ca and sponsor a plunger like Lauzie here, who will be doing his plunge coming up. We look forward to that, and we may even bring you that one live. So that might be a treat where we go live for that plunge. Okay. All right. Thanks, Lauzie. Thanks for going through those with me. That was fun. We look forward to next week. Until then, everybody, have a great week. It's going to get cold again. Don't enjoy the 16-degree weather just yet, because I think we're in for some more snow.
Yes, sir. And always stay safe. Until next week, have a good week, folks.